Hello everyone. Now we move on the question answer part of our chapter, The Tiger King. Let's see the first question. Who is the Tiger King? Why does he get that name? The answer is Jilani Jung Jung Bahadur, the king of Pratibandhapuram, is known as the Tiger King. At the time of his birth, the astrologers declared that the prince would have to die one day. The 10-day-old prince asked the astrologers to reveal the manner of his death. The wise men were baffled at this miracle. The chief astrologer said that his death would come from a tiger. The young prince growled and uttered terrifying words, "Let tigers beware." He decided to kill 100 tigers. He thus got the name Tiger King. So, how Jilani Jung Jung Bahadur got the name Tiger King? At the time of his birth, after 10 days, the main astrologer, the royal astrologer, predicted that he is going to die just because of a tiger. And after knowing this, the 10-day-year-old boy uttered these words, and he was himself much interested to know the cause, how he is going to die. And after knowing the cause of his death, he just, instead of afraiding from that prediction, he just going to be more and more brave. Okay, and this much of a small boy, he himself announcing, "All the tigers, let be beware, I am coming." Next question. What did the royal infant grow up to be? The royal infant grew up to be the king of Pratibandhapuram, who was obsessed with the idea of killing 100 tigers. He wanted to do so to disprove the prophecy which said that his death would come from the 100th tiger. This made him kill all the tigers of Pratibandhapuram. Even married for the sake of the ambition, he came to be known as the Tiger King. So after growing up, that little boy became the king of Pratibandhapuram, and he was so obsessed. Obsessed is called, he was so indulged in completing his wish that he is going to kill 100 tigers, because the prophecy, according to the prophecy, he is going to killed by 100th tiger. Okay, so after killing all the tigers of his kingdom, he just wondering about killing the tigers. They are resided in other kingdom. That's why he also got married to a girl in whose kingdoms he can find the tigers to just fulfill his ambition. Next question. What will the Maharaja do to find the required number of tigers to kill? To get the required number of tigers to kill, the Maharaja asked his Diwan to find a suitable girl for him to marry. A suitable girl for matrimonial alliance would be one who would not only come from a royal family but also belong to a state with a large tiger population. As Pratibandhapuram had no more tigers left, a province that belonged to his father-in-law would certainly provide him with an opportunity to kill more tigers and reach his aim of killing 100 tiger. So how he got his ambition to be concluded? By marrying a girl from a royal family. So the king placed his wish before Diwan, and Diwan found out a girl from a royal family who is having enough population of tigers, so that the wish can be completed by the king to kill 100 tiger, because the tiger population is going to be decreased and almost disappeared, almost finished in the jungle of Pratibandhapuram, because the king already killed all the tigers in the Pratibandhapuram's jungle. Let's move on to the next question. How will the Maharaja prepare himself for the 100th tiger, which was supposed to decide his fate? The Maharaja wanted to be extremely careful while dealing with the 100th tiger, which was supposed to be the reason for his death. On encountering the 100th one, he took the careful aim at the tiger and shot it. When it fell in a crumpled heap, he was overcome with joy and left the place hastily. Now, after killing 99 tigers, king was very overjoyed just before killing the 100th tiger. He was extra careful and overjoyed. But when he shot the tiger, so instead of checking before leaving the place that whether the tiger is died or not, he just went out from the place hastily. Hastily is called very quickly. Okay, means he shot the tiger, but that the shoot that is missed by the tiger, by the king, that is going to be kill the tiger. Okay, and that was not in the knowledge of that king, and king quickly leave the place in the overjoyed that he has now fulfilled his wish. Moving to the long questions, what will now happen to the astrologer? Do you think the prophecy was indisputably disapproved? The astrologer dies before the king of Pratibandhupuram gets an opportunity to kill 100 tigers. Disapproving his prophecy seems to be the sole reason for the king's existence. Except for killing 100 tigers, everything else take a backseat for the king. The prophecy cannot be indisputably disapproved as the king was ultimately killed by a tiger. Though neither by a real one nor by the 100th one, looking at the weak, old, and almost lifeless tiger that was the 100th one, no one would have thought that it would escape the king's bullet by fainting at the shock of the bullet whizzing past. It was the tiny little wooden tiger from the toy shop that caused the death of the tiger king. So the royal astrologers who make the prediction that the king is going to be killed by 100th tiger. So what happened to that astrologer? So that astrologer died before king can fulfill his wish to kill the 100th tiger. But the prophecy, even after the death of the astrologer, the prophecy to kill the 100th tiger by the kings just gone to be true. Means he killed 99 tiger, and when he came to kill the 100th tiger, the shot missed. Means by the whizzing sound of the gun of the shot, the 100th tiger got fainted, and the king understood that he killed 100 tiger and fulfilled his wish. But in fact, the tiger was just fainted and not dead. So like this, he fulfilled his wish, whatever he has done, but ultimately he was killed by 100 tiger. Means that 100 tiger was not dead, so that will not be included in 100 tiger. Okay, what will be included in 100 tiger? The tiny wooden piece of toy. Okay, the tiger toy from which the silver nail was coming out, and just because of that, that was the reason of the killing of the king. So ultimately the king was killed by 100 tiger, whether the tiger is not a living thing, but that was 100 tiger. Next question. The story is a satire on the conceit of those in power. How does the author employ the literary device of dramatic irony in the story? Now, satire means to make some fun on someone. Conceit is called self-pride. And literary device, there is a literary device, dramatic irony. Now, let me clear what is dramatic irony. When you are presenting something with so emphasis about someone that is not there, just opposite of that, but even then that is said with so emphasis that anybody is going to believe on that. In simple words, if you are making any statement about someone, okay, and that person is just opposite whatever you have said, but you have said with so emphasis, with so confidence, that the other person is going to believe the same thing about that person. Okay, so this dramatic irony is present. Kalki has kept this dramatic irony in the story or not? The story The Tiger King is a supreme example of dramatic irony. After killing the first tiger of king flaunts its dead body before the astrologer to show that he is more powerful than the tiger. However, the astrologer warns the king that he should be careful with the 100th tiger. The king chosen to be proved that the astrologer wrong once again and makes him frantic efforts to kill 100 tiger. Thus, having shot the old tiger, the king believes he has killed the 100th tiger, but the reader as well as the king's officer and minions soon came to know that the emaciated tiger does not get killed but only faints. The king gets happy of killing the tiger, but in actual ignorant of his ironical fate, the prediction proves to be right, and mere silver on wooden tiger's body causes his dramatic death. Now, which type of dramatic irony was there? Means once royal astrologer had just clearly predicted that the king is going to be killed by 100th tiger, but king was in so confidence, and he was in so power of his conceit that he is going to prove wrong to the astrologer by killing all the 100 tigers. And when he killed 100th tiger, then he took out a procession all over the kingdom, that see, everyone can see that I killed all the 100 tiger, and the prediction of the royal astrologer has become false. But that was not right. Even after the death of the royal astrologers and before killing the 100 tiger, and when the king came to killing the 100 tiger, okay, with the shot of his gun, and that 100th tiger was emaciated called very much thin and weak. That was an old tiger, okay. So he just got fainted just because of the whizzing sound of the gun, but in actual he was not dead. But so after knowing, means the reader also know, the peoples of the kingdom also know that yes, the king has killed the 100th tiger. But what happened actually, when the king is killed by just a wooden piece of the tiger, then everybody got to know that in fact the astrologer was very much right in his prediction, and yes, the king is killed by 100th tiger. Moving to the next question, what is the author's indirect comment on subjecting innocent animals to the willfulness of human beings? Now, this is the question not direct from the text. This is based on the understanding of the text. In the question, it is asked that authors indirectly commented that yes, human is going to fulfill his desire just by killing the innocent animal. So that is portrayed or not. Though the satirical stories, or the author has rightly portrayed how human beings have subjected innocent animals to untold torture and death merely to fulfill their own whims and fancies. The Maharaja's indiscriminate killing of tigers led to their extinction in some states, but the Maharaja was oblivious to the grave consequences his action was leading to. In order to prove an astrologer's wrong, the Maharaja went on a killing spree, proving his dominance over the hapless animals. Now, the language seems to be a little difficult. I'm going to simplify the answer, and that explanation you can write down in your answer. But before that, I'm just going to tell you the hard words of this answer. Means whether if you just going to write this answer, so just for that sake, I'm going to tell you the meaning of some hard words. Like innocent, means that are not clever, and innocent has come for animals. Now, whims and fancies are called for the joy and fun. Indiscriminate means when you are doing differences between something. Here, living things means at one side humans are there, at other side animals are there, both are living beings, okay. But the humans are giving more importance than the animals, means anybody can kill the animals just for their fun. So this is a type of, you are making difference between two living things. Then oblivious is called, yes, very well known. Grave means serious. Consequences means result, okay, serious result. Then we came on to the dominance. Means when you are showing your power on someone, that yes, I am powerful. And hapless animals are called unlucky animals, okay. Now I am going to give you the explanation in simple language. In this question, it is asked that author has predicted, means authors had just put a indirect comment on those peoples just in the form of a story who are killing the animal just for their fun. So in the answer, yes, the comment, that indirect comment made by Kalki in this story, and that is very much suitable for those people who are killing the innocent animals just because of their fun and joy. Like in this chapter, the king has killed 99 tiger just to complete his own desire, and just because of that the population of the tiger extinct is called disappeared from the jungle of Pratibandhapuram as well as jungle of his father-in-laws. Okay, and even means the grave consequences, even if this thing is very much known by the king that yes, I am doing wrong thing, I am killing a living ones and I am just going to finish them. If each and every animals from the jungle, if each and every tiger from the jungle of Pratibandhapuram he is going to kill, then the no tiger will be left, the species of tiger will be disappeared from the jungle, and this thing is known very well by the king. But even then he was kept on killing the tigers. But after that what happened, and at the by the 100th tiger, by a non-living thing, he met with his death. So indirectly he is just going to show his power that yes, I am so powerful and I can just change my destiny. But exactly the opposite has happened, and king was killed by a non-living wooden tiger. Another long question. How would you describe the behavior of Maharaja's minions towards him? Do you find them truly sincere towards him, or are they driven by fear when they obey him? Do we find a similarity in today's political order? Then in this question it is asked that whatever the minions are called, servants, whoever the servants are there in the palace of Maharaja, are they going to obey him just because of the fear or by the respect? Okay, and place the same thing in the today's political scenario also. So the answer is Maharaja's minions were subservient and sycophantic. Most of them displeasures could mean loss of their job or even loss of their lives. The astrologer was afraid of predicting his death till Maharaja told him to speak without fear. Diwan, who should have advised the king not to kill the tigers, did not dare to go against his wishes and added his marriage to a princess whose father's kingdom possessed a large number of the tigers. Being afraid of losing his job, he presented an old tiger to satisfy the whims of the Maharaja. Likewise, the hunters chose not to inform him from the survival of the 100th tiger and instead of killed it themselves, fearing that they might lose their jobs. Even the shopkeeper who sold the tiger a cheap wooden toy tiger quoted a higher price, lest he should be punished under the rules of the emergency. So it is evident that the king's minions were driven by the fear rather than any feelings of the sincerity towards their ruler. Okay, so here some of the new words has come. So I'm going to give you the meanings of those words. If you are going to just learn the same answer, means that the first word is subservient. Subservient is called when you are willing to obey someone. Okay, then sycophantic is called behaving in undesired way, means to get the advantage, means you don't want but you are behaving in undesired way, you don't want but you have to do that. So I'm going to simplify the answer for you that yes, all the servants in the king's palace are going to have a type of fear. If they are going to disobey the king, they can lose their job. Now so many servants, so many king maids are given to just justify this answer. First of all, the astrologer, he was having fear in telling the prediction, but after the king told him, I'm not going to say you anything, just tell me, and after that he told about his prediction. Then we came on Diwan, the minister. The minister was also having a type of fear and he wants to say that stop killing tigers, but there was a fear that he can lose his job, so he was not able to tell this thing to Maharaja, and anyhow he has to find out a girl who in whose kingdom a lot of tiger population is there. Then we came on the hunters. When the king is going to hunt the 100th tiger, the another hunters, they know about that. They knew about that the 100th tiger was old and he was just fainted, not dead. But they just hide this truth from Maharaja, because if they are going to tell this truth of to Maharaja, then Maharaja can extinct them from their job. So they did not tell this truth. Then we came on the shopkeeper. When Maharaja bought a little tiny toy of tiger, and if the shopkeeper would have told the lesser price, then Maharaja is going to be very angry that this much of cheap toy, how he can buy this toy. So means deliberately he told the expensive, he made the toy expensive just because of not getting any type of punishment. So if we say indirectly, in today's political scenario also, everybody is working under a type of fear or pressure. Nobody is working with his full heart. Okay, there is a type of fear of losing their post or not getting their promotion. So we can find the same thing as told in the story in the today's political scenario. Came on the last question. Can you relate instances of game hunting among the rich and the powerful in the present time that illustrate the callousness of human being towards wildlife? Again, the question is not direct from the text, that is based on your general knowledge about the hunting of the animals in the jungle. So in the question it is asked, the rich is going to be kill the animals because of just their funds, and it shows the callousness. Callousness is called hardness, means how hard the human being just towards the animals. Then in answer, it can be said there have been some instances of game hunting in the present time. Even the affluent have been involved in the instances that illustrate that callousness of human being towards wildlife. Like Salman Khan black buck poaching case and Nawab Mansoor Ali Khan Pataudi antelope case. Okay, so here instances means the stories, examples. Okay, then affluent is called wealthy people who are having more money. Illustrate is called to draw. Okay, so in this question, in this answer, it is very much specified, very much clear that yes, the wealthy people, the peoples having money, they are very much indulged to have a type of hardness towards the animal just because of their fun. Okay, and some of the examples: Salman Khan, who was involved in black buck poaching case during the shooting of one of his film, and the next one is Nawab Mansoor Ali Khan Pataudi. This man is the father of Saif Ali Khan, the actor, the Bollywood actor, and he was indulged in antelope case. Okay, antelope and black buck, they both are wild animals, and they both person shows a type of hardness of human beings towards the animals. So here we have completed the chapter. I give you a thorough explanation of the story and of each and every answers. Whether you are going through the answers I provided you written on your screen, or whether you are you can go through the answers I explained in simplified manner. So that's it for now. We'll meet again.